You know we can see you, right? Chrissy, another week, another social media. We always talk about this. This gonna end up becoming a social media segment. But anyways, just getting to it. This week we talking about dirty delete or dirty delete economy. So y'all know I'm a unk, so I don't be knowing the proper terminology. So I'm gonna actually read what the young people around Right to Us gave me. So dirty delete is a viral meme format where somebody posts a wild claim, get called out, and then think they can delete it like it never ever happened. And as you know, we're not here to talk about what kids are doing on the internet or even what adults are doing on the internet. What we're talking about is when all of that stuff that should be left on the internet makes its way over into our business world. And that's what's happening, y'all. I know we all seeing it with like the fake revenue numbers, the fake mansions, the rented mansions, rented cars with people acting like it's their stuff, like all of this fake stuff that people are doing to like just draw attention to themselves. And then when they get called out on it, they try to delete it. I ain't gonna disrespect my guy Bow. Wow, because I remember I'm his age. I remember what it was like when we were young, but y'all remember the private jet thing. But moving on from that, you can't just post this stuff and delete it because it still exists, y'all. It don't go nowhere. People screenshot this stuff. So getting back to the business piece of it, what happens is it's cool online. It's okay when you're just having a good time. Shout out to my guy Bow Wow. It's okay when you just playing and acting like you're on a private jet when you're really not. But when you make this stuff come over into your business where you are now making business decisions based on your social media presence, it takes something that was cool and fun online and potentially makes it federal. And see, that's what we're here to discuss. And I'm gonna go back a couple years to the PPP thing because for most people, PPP was years ago. It's over with. Before the accountants and finance professionals, it's still alive and well because we still seeing people get locked up daily, all the time. We seeing people still suffering the consequences from what they did back in PPP. And a lot of that stuff was driven by trying to keep up social media looks, like just how they look on social media, for lack of better words. And what we saw recently was a DJ and his wife just got 40, y'all. So we know went 40 years. Let me make sure I say that. So we know went from PPP to PPP scams to PPPpreneurs. And now we got PPP pyramids. And again, the Moors just got 40 years in prison, a guy and his wife. And Chrissy,
And going to jail. Click, click.
you like, I don't know why y'all playing with these people. I said it in the last video. I'm gonna say it in probably future videos. You cannot play with these people because they will lock you up. You going to jail, not passing go, not collecting your 200. So moving along, what we got to make sure we're not doing is allowing social media to drive us into making decisions in real life that affect us in real life, because believe it or not, we actually can see you.
Okay, Chrissy, I know you locked in. I see you locked in, but it's time to shoot the intro.
What time is it?
It's time.
I didn't I didn't even realize what time it was. Okay, I'm coming, but like I really want to wrap this up real quick. I saw what you did for Albert last week. You think you could do that for me?
Chrissy, I have a lot going on today.
I know. I understand. But I really just want to finish this. So do you think you could do it for me, please?
Anything for you, Chrissy.
Thank you. You're the best.
Gotta do everything around here.
Hello and welcome to the real bottom line with Albert the CPA, featuring, you guessed it, Albert the CPA. Kind of know that on that.
All right, y'all, let's talk about it. And I actually have a story to read. So, based on reports by Newsweek and US News and World Report, by May 2026, the US had recorded an estimated 5.2 million in layoffs. So March alone saw 1.9 million. That's a 1.2% layoff rate. So we also see tech with about 116,000 in recorded layoffs. So as we see these companies slimming down their actual staff, what we as professional service providers need to be very cognizant of is if we're not careful, we're next. Because when someone starts cutting actual line numbers on their books, the vendor list. The vendor list is the next line number. So if you know your P&L, you know it's employees and contractors and vendors come right after. So if we're not smart vendors, we can find ourselves on that cutting block, and we won't even make it to the percentage, y'all. The percentage, there is no percentage that they are tracking for how much the professional service providers are being cut. So we need to make sure that we're very cognizant of this. So before it starts hitting us really hard, now's the opportunity for us to actually know what's going on and know that we must simply commit to being the best. Quick shout out back to social media, because I think social media is killing a lot of this stuff, but it's great because social media literally guides you into doing all of the wrong things. We need to get back to the customer is always right. Yeah, we have a point. Yeah, our feelings are valid. Yeah, all of this stuff. But do you want to be right, or do you want to be paid? For professional service providers, we need to start focusing on ensuring we're doing the things that keep us paid. Y'all, we have the power to affect this whole economy. We have the power to change lives. We have the power to offer jobs, and we must commit to being the best so that we can do that. Because I don't want us to, again, like 5.2 million in layoffs, that's employees, y'all. We don't want to have like these huge stories about vendors and small businesses and professional service providers just being almost obsolete, because I want to spend some time on AI. In March, I think it was, or it's not in March, it's expected. So the tech hit was 116K expected by early June. So let's talk about it. When tech is negatively being hit, we can't be blind. And the story doesn't say this, but we can't be blind to the impact of AI, right? But what I want people to understand, at this point in life, AI is an extra set of hands. They are replacing redundant jobs. They're replacing jobs that are lower level, lower skill level, and they're doing them better. But they simply can't replace the human touch. They cannot replace strategists. They cannot replace the people who should be using AI to do things. So now is our, what is it, dog whistle? Is that a word? Is that a word? Dog whistle? I feel like that's snitching.
Whistleblower. You got it.
Yeah, whatever. But it's our call. It's our loud alert. It's an alert that, like, now's the time, y'all. Now's the time for us to make sure that we're the best, and we got to ensure that we're increasing our skill set. I know it's super popular for people to say, don't go to college, don't go to this stuff, don't get trades, just you can figure this out. Y'all listen to me. AI is going to replace this, and no one's going to be able to say that social media made me dumb or social media made me not take this stuff seriously, because social media is telling you a lot of stuff that's simply not true. This is like your real big alert. I need like a red, yeah, like, thank you. Ice is doing it off camera. Like, one of the alert. We gotta be good again. We gotta be great again. We need to be making our Coca-Cola, our Sprite, our best of the best in class. We need to be focused on that, and we gotta stop with the social media get by, do bare minimum stuff, because we will simply get replaced if we're not careful. The stories, the news, the numbers, all of this stuff is screaming it at me. So I want to make sure I'm screaming it at you. I ain't gonna make the mic clip, Ice, but I want to make sure I'm screaming without messing up Ice's audio recording here. But so here are some of the things that actually make you the best, right? And it's a lot more simple than you think, or a lot simpler than you think. It's, you literally commit to client success. You literally commit to ensuring that you're understanding your client's needs and serving them without thinking that you're the person who needs to be right. We got to get rid of the personal everything in business and make business and personal. And you just want to commit to building those skills, building those trades, building whatever makes you better and makes you irreplaceable by AI, because AI is here. It ain't no longer coming. And if you aren't careful with your value, AI will replace you. And that's all I want to talk about this week.
Coming to the stage,
All right.
Yeah.
You remember that time, or them years,
Yes.
when we were trying to get people to pay attention to those subscriptions?
Yes, it was a trying time.
So now it's going viral.
Okay.
So it's funny now. Ain't it funny? This whole Chrissy,
Think
this
so?
whole, yeah, they do. This whole show is gonna be just based on social media doing what social media does.
Gotcha.
So a couple of years ago, when we were telling people to worry about this stuff, everybody was rich.
People
They
too
didn't
much.
care. They didn't care. They didn't care about all of the different wastes in their business. We was like, yeah, software it is. Yeah, you got to make sure you those trials they end. They start charging you. Got to double check that. We was doing all of that. So now it's viral with them type of people. So I'm like, man, I realized that I was paying all this extra money on softwares, and smart me, I figured out that if I just go through. Anyways, that did remind me of a clear alley oop for something we were talking about the other day. About
Yeah.
remember, we can't say the client name.
Yeah, but we did save her a lot of money just by going through all her subscriptions in her softwares. It was like what, 5,400 or something a month?
$5,400 per month. So,
Yes.
and this particular client was actually struggling to figure out how to hire a key role. So I'm gonna do some numbers. I don't know if we dove into numbers. $5,400 a month is $64,800.
Woo.
And we were trying to find the money to pay somebody $45,000 a year, and we didn't have it. Guess where it was?
In softwares and subscriptions.
That nobody was using, because what happens for small business owners a lot of times, they'll have a new contractor come on. That contractor use this software. They pay for that software. They don't work out with the contractor, never cancel the software. Next contractor come in, they use that software. They pay for that software. That contractor don't work out. They never cancel the software. They bring in a new contractor. And next thing you know, just those $100 a month, those $250 a month, things that don't stand out for big businesses, that don't stand out,
Yeah.
starts multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. And for this specific client, $5,400 and stuff that nobody was using. Wow, she trying to figure out how to pay somebody else that amount.
Yeah. It was a crazy time.
Yeah, and then the auto renew. Oh, what kills them?
yeah.
The auto renewals, those annual auto renewals. So you have the software, you don't forget about the software, then it hit you for them 3,600. Anyway.
In 1 month.
But that was a story, and that was a quick one. I mean, we could really like always talk about how we've advised and how we tell people like, man,
Go line by lines every now and again to see what your numbers are saying.
because it always throw me off. Like, everybody in business to make money,
Yeah.
but nobody be want to pay attention to their numbers.
It's wild.
Y'all know money is a number. I be wondering, like, Chrissy, do they know that money is like numbers? Revenue is a number, profit a number. How much you pay somebody? Payroll is a number. Salary, marketing, all of this stuff, these numbers.
And they talk.
They be talking all loud and screaming, and they just over there talking Japanese. Is Japanese a language?
Yes.
Over there talking Japanese. And nobody on the team know Japanese.
That's why you gotta hire the right team.
But they won't do it. They don't want to do it. They want it to be $395. They want it to be $395 a month.
No.
Anyway, it was funny. We did have a time.
We did.
We had a time because we were like big on it. And when we were younger in business, we used to care. You know how it is when you're inexperienced. We knew that we knew what we were talking about. And we also knew that people weren't paying attention to us, and we felt something about it.
We did.
So it's not that we feel validated now. It's just more of a like, we tried to warn you before your business was.
I've been told you, like, you should have listened the first time. We wouldn't be in this mess now.
Well, maybe we are. Maybe we do feel validated, because that sounded like feeling validated.
I feel very validated. Should have listened to me the first time.
I wouldn't say it like that.
Professionally.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't say it like that, but did she lie though? Anyway,
But
books
yes,
don't lie. The books don't lie, y'all. The books don't lie. Like, you in your business right now has the truth sitting right in your business, and you ain't got nobody in your business who can actually communicate to you what your business is saying to you in a lot of cases.
it's whispering to you.
I don't even think it whisper. I don't know who wrote that down. I wrote that in these notes. It don't whisper. It literally be screaming and kicking and knocking stuff over and sending you out of bed. It be like, listen to me. I ain't gonna Mississippi take. Listen. Y'all hear my yell without raising my voice? Listen to me.
Yes.
Anyway,
Nah, but it was a good time. I remember it well.
it's good for somebody. It ain't good for none of them people that talking about they. What I figured out.
Review your subscriptions and your softwares.
Yeah. And I think that will probably save you a lot more than you realize.
That's your tip. The real bottom line with Albert the CPA is brought to you by Right Choice Accounting Solutions, where we help professional service providers maximize their profits while saving a lot in taxes. We help our clients work through their numbers and really understand what they mean, helping you understand what profit clarity is and what your numbers are saying in your business. They're whispering to you, help me. And that's what we are here to help you with. So please check out Right Choice.
Welcome to this week's episode of Facts Only. 4 stories, only one of them are true. You ready, D. Lauren Hurster?
Yep.
You ready, Ray Runs It All?
Yeah.
You ready, Crystal Clear Numbers? You ready, Ice, baby?
Yes.
All right, so story number 1. A U.S. company once paid its entire employee payroll in coins as a protest. See, that's the kind of stuff that we would do. You start asking for too much money and all these raises, I'm going to make sure y'all understood. Instead of people getting their check, they got rolls of quarters. JP Morgan published an article. Even though we doing all of this reporting on people losing jobs because of AI, blah, 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 JP Morgan published an article saying that 73% of mid-sized business leaders expect revenue to grow in 2026, despite economic uncertainty. The IRS once audited a business that claimed a pet iguana as a security animal deduction and approved it. They beat the IRS. A small business in Ohio saved over $40,000 in 1 year just by auditing their software subscriptions. So we got people getting rolls of quarters for their paychecks. We got some delusional managers talking about their business going, the whole world going down, but their business going up. Somebody trying to keep their job, but you're about to lose your job. The IRS once audited a business that claimed a pet iguana as a security animal. And a small business in Ohio saved over 40 bands in 1 year just by auditing their software subscriptions. I think I've started with 2 of you, but I haven't started with you. Or
No, you guys are Crystal.
I thought it was you, but it's you. Way to correct with no words. What you got, Chris?
I'm gonna say the subscription audit, because sometimes people like it so much they buy it twice. Isn't it nice they buy it twice? Don't mean that though.
Yeah, they ain't like we ain't seen it. They ain't like we ain't seen it. What you got, Ray?
I really think the JP Morgan one is true.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
What you got, y'all Yizzle?
I don't know about the Iguana.
Somebody knows something. What you got, Ice?
I was going to say the iguana too. That was scary. That's good enough security.
Yeah, and you might lead the witness when you be like, and they won, because y'all already know the rules. When you're dealing with the IRS, I'm gonna just before I get to the answer. Yeah. When you're dealing with the IRS, what you need is a good story, and you need to be able to say exactly how what you're doing aligns with the guidance. If you can explain that, you will win. You can't be ridiculous, but you just have to have an actual reason for what you're doing, and it has to be in alignment with what they say. Now, in this case, y'all wrong. So, down to y'all two. I need some music, because I can only think of other people's music. One of y'all right, one of y'all wrong. Y'all two already wrong.
I'm trying to go 3 for 3.
You ain't get the first one right. What you just give it?
I did.
Nobody got the first one right.
Nobody?
Nobody. You said the Lord's
Oh,
chicken.
dang.
Nobody 3 for 3. Look at you. Give us stuff. People just be wanting extra credit.
Didn't nobody remember that but y'all.
All right. Edit this out. She get. But I will say, how many you done got right?
None.
You?
1.
Oh yeah, y'all two around.
Okay.
You got any right?
I think so.
Oh, we should keep a scoreboard.
Yeah.
We should keep a
Give a
scoreboard
scoreboard.
because one of y'all on the board. I ain't gonna say if it's the one that ain't been on the board or if somebody just added another tally.
Cool one.
Huh?
Cool one.
I'm building too much anticipation.
Yes.
All right, well, y'all will get the answer right after this commercial break.
Ha.
You know I'm funny. All right, well, since you want to laugh, Ray, you got another one on the board. 2 for 3. 2 for 3. Hey, you good with the numbers. Maybe you ain't good with the stories. Maybe it was just the numbers you good
It's
with.
rigged.
Hey. Well, that's this week's episode of Facts Only.
What was right?
The
JP
JP Morgan publishing article. If I start with JP Morgan publishing article because I'm trying not to get in trouble for citing, maybe go with the source. There's a source. You think we'll just get on here and lie on JP Morgan? Anyways, that's this week's episode of Facts Only. All right, time for this week's Ask Albert the CPA. What we got, Chris?
This week's question is, what's the difference between an S-Corp and an LLC? And also, how do I know which one is better for my business?
Oh, y'all about to get Chris's favorite answer. You want to give it?
It depends.
It depends. So
It's not my favorite answer.
So look, so the difference between an S-Corp and an LLC is just the tax treatment, right? So a LLC is a legal entity, and S-Corp is a taxable entity or a tax classification. I'm not going to get into the jargon, but what the S-Corp allows you to do is hire yourself as an employee, pay yourself a reasonable salary so you actually get a W-2, you actually get taxes collected, you actually have a document that shows that you're not just somebody out here, you actually an employee of a company. And it allows you to save a little bit of money on self-employment taxes. That's what the S-Corp gives you. So that's why the S-Corp is kind of considered like a really, really great tax move. But, and that people never get to the but on social media. People never get to the but. You have to be able to afford to pay yourself a reasonable salary. And reasonable means if it wasn't you doing it, could you pay another person this amount of money and it be considered reasonable? That's the simplest way to think about it. And that's the way you should think about it to keep yourself out of IRS trouble. So S-Corp it gives you an official tax paying entity to hire yourself as an employee. LLC is what we call a flow through entity. So you and the LLC are one and the same. You're just a self-employed contractor with legal protection, not taxable protection, legal protection. And the difference between the two, or which one you should use, is based on your actual strategy. That's why it's Chrissy's favorite answer. It just depends. And there are no hard, fast rules. There is no if this, then that. Everything depends on everything else. So for some companies, electing to be taxed as an S-Corp is a gold mine. For a lot of the small business owners that we work with at Right Choice, it's costing them a lot of money. They're out of compliance, they're not doing stuff correctly, and they're really creating a lot of risk that they don't have to even be going through because they don't make enough money to save the money in the first place. So they should be holding off on that election because the LLC is simply the most flexible entity that you can be in. That hiring your kids stuff, that hiring your spouse stuff, a lot of the tips and tricks that you see online works for LLC and S-Corp, a little bit more red tape. So I think if you want a true answer to this question, you just gonna have to pay somebody. You just gonna have to pay somebody to actually do a diagnostic and go through your specific thing with you. And you know the right company. I'm gonna take it to the bridge right there. You ready, Rachel? I'm taking it to the end.
Take it to the bridge.
So you can hire somebody to help you with that, or you could just hire Right Choice. We'll be more than happy to have that conversation. And if you're someone who need full service accounting, come on to Right Choice. Y'all heard the lady on the ad. Come on to Right Choice. We do all of that stuff she says we did. And if you're someone who's not ready to be served and you want to learn a little bit more about your numbers and how to use those numbers, we got a book. It is the Business Owner's Financial Playbook. It's going to not try to teach you to be an accountant, but it's going to tell you which numbers you need to know, how to find those numbers, what to command or demand from your actual accounting team if you have one. And it's going to help you really learn to lead your company by the numbers. Okay, y'all. So we had to cut that. Rachel told me I went on and on too long. So all I'm here to say is I will see you next week.
All right.